talk some Jimmy Garoppolo because I just feel like there's so much hate, man. And
All right, let's dial it back then.
But yeah, so I looked back. A lot of people will say in 2017, Jimmy showed up, but the team was already good, even though they were 1-11, and they were in all these games already and that sort of thing. And so, to me, that's the best thing about Jimmy is in that fact. Because if you look back at that season, I looked at games where Jimmy or where the 49ers had the ball with less than 5 minutes and a chance to either tie or win the game. Before Jimmy got there, they were 0 for 5.
Of course.
0 for 5. Jimmy got there. They won 5 straight. 2 of those, though, were games where he got the ball in the last 5 minutes and had a chance to tie or win the game and did it. And so and then I
know where you're going real quick. Isn't it fair to say that, like, I know what you're saying, he's overly hated on, but from my perspective, isn't a big part of his legacy that he was constantly compared to people like Brian Hoyer, CJ Beathard, and Nick Mullins? Like, a big part of his legacy was being better than those 3 guys.
Right. And which ironically, though, that's 5 years ago, they're all still in the league. So they're not like, these guys aren't like the worst backup QBs, of all time or anything.
No, but they're backups.
Yeah, they're backups. I guess my where I was going, though, was I looked at 2019, 2021. So like the 3 seasons that he was healthy pretty much.
Yeah.
In the regular season, he had 9 opportunities to with the ball, final 5 minutes, to go down and either tie or win the game or take the lead, tie or take the lead with less than 5 minutes. He was 9 for 9. Every single time he was put in that position, he came through. They didn't win all those games. They were games. I mean, you think about Green Bay last year where, he gave the team a chance to win, and then Green Bay came back and kicked a last-second field goal. But
what happened in Seattle?
Seattle last year?
He was at the goal line. They lost.
Oh, that was – I have to look at that.
Sorry.
Yeah,
okay. It's okay. The way I remember last year is he had like win some, he lose some. I see what you're saying. He put him in position against Green Bay. That is true. He did. He also threw an interception backwards like the series before then. Okay, hold on. Let me ask you because I'm not trying to get snarky. When people come in and say that Jimmy had like a big impact on winning, what exactly about his play style? Like, how does he contribute to winning? You know what I mean? What does he do?
Again, I think people look at the 2 big playoff games that they didn't come through. To me, again, I went back. I'd have to look at that Seattle game. Maybe I looked over it, but even if we use that one, 10 out of 13 times he's had that opportunity to give the team a chance to win. He's come through. I looked like at Aaron Rodgers over the last 2 years. He was 5 out of 7. That he came through in those same situations. And so something about Jimmy, I know you say.
Isn't this kind of a team stat? Like, is this the most important stat to evaluate a quarterback?
No, but to me, it's and when the team talks about leadership and that sort of thing, it's rare for a quarterback to be able to come in that situation. This is the NFL. Games are close all the time. And I think, the Niners have.
You're saying he's clutch. I mean, this is the guy with the lowest fourth quarter quarterback rating in playoff history. I mean, I understand that the offense has been able to like have some moments at the end of games, but I don't really attribute it 100% to Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, this guy, what he hit Jalen Ramsey in the chest last year in the fourth quarter in the NFC. I mean, he melted down. He had opportunities last year.
One of the losses again. I mean, that's one of the lot. But if those 2, if the Super Bowl loss and the NFC loss were in the regular season and he came through 10 out of 13 times, we'd be talking about he's the most clutch player in the NFL. Those numbers are on par with
Let me ask you a direct question.
Yeah.
Where would you rank Jimmy Garoppolo in terms of starting quarterbacks? How good is he? Give me a number.
For me, I would put him between 10 and 15.
Don't you want better than that?
Of course I want better than that. But my second point, though, is I don't have any reason to believe Trey is better than that. I've thrown out some of his college stats in
I'm sorry. I just hit me that this is Flav. I'm sorry. Just hit me. What's up? We've been going back and forth all week. Yeah. Sorry, my brain hit my brain late. What's up, Flav? How you doing?
Good, man. So again, as far as I can tell, Trey Lance never led a game-winning drive ever. I mean, maybe in high school, but I can't look at those stats. Who knows? But definitely not in college. Not last year. Hasn't led a game-winning drive. Only thrown for 250 yards, more than 250
yards. Hold on, but that's circumstantial, right? It's not like he was put in these situations and he failed. They were just blowing teams out in college. It's not like he can't do it. It's just he's young. He hasn't been in that situation yet. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I agree, but
lack of evidence.
I don't think a high school journalist could come in and do your job. Like, I wouldn't expect him to be able.
Hey, man, there could be some really gifted people out there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
And believe me, as a fan, I'm praying that he is. I'm praying, but I don't have any reasons to believe that he is other than.
Okay, hold on. So again, Jimmy Garoppolo, by the end of his tenure, had become, say what you want about what he could do at the end of a game. I'm skeptical on that. He's a game manager. They don't want him throwing a lot. He throws very few passes per game, and he doesn't move. It just seems like as long as you're in the game, 10 to 15, I don't think so, man. I think 20 to 25. He's a game manager. And if that's where you're putting him, wouldn't you want a game manager who's like can run and throw down the field and not turn the ball over? Now, I know we don't know about Trey Lance and turning the ball. He didn't do it in college, but Jimmy, he did no excuse, man. Why are you throwing these picks? You got this running game, you got this defense. You don't need to force the ball, but you do. That kills me with him. He is the most overconfident game manager I've ever seen in my whole life, Flav. Who does he think he is? Tom Brady?
I love that, though. I love that. And I think the team does, too.
You like the interceptions.
I love the winning at the end and coming through, man. Some people just have a knack for it. If you look at like Brady again, he can't run. It's all mental.
Compare Jimmy to Tom Brady, Flav.
I'm just saying the greatest quarterbacks are in that last 5 minutes. They come through more than any other quarterbacks. True or false?
Again, look at Jimmy Garoppolo's quarterback rating in the fourth quarter of the playoffs. You can't say.
I'm not talking about rating though. I'm talking about those last 5 minutes, like and being able to give your team a chance to win. He does that almost every single time. It just so happens the two biggest times he didn't do it were in the biggest games. And so I think that
he does it every single time. I don't think he does, man. I was in Seattle. He was at the 7-yard line. He had Ayuk open on the left. He threw to the right, got the pass knocked down.
And
then there was in Cincinnati when he threw the ball right to Jesse Bates and Bates dropped it. And they had another opportunity in overtime. Like, Jimmy isn't who you think he is, man. He's not Tony Romo. He's not Drew Brees. I mean, man. He is
like, I don't have man. I look at Steve Young and then I look at Jeff Garcia, maybe Alex Smith, Kaepernick. Like,
all those guys could protect the football.
All those guys. I mean, none of us gave us a realistic chance to win other than Kaepernick 1 year. It's been brutal. And so to sit here and be like, oh man, Jimmy's not good enough to win. And this is the thing that kind of drives me crazy about the fans is like, they don't want to give Jimmy any credit for wins because that's a team stat, but they'll give him credit for the losses. Like that's
Flav, if you were right about Jimmy, some team would have traded him for him by now. His injury is not serious. If he were Drew Brees, he'd be on a team right now. So there would be 5 teams trying to trade a second round or a first round pick. It's not there. The whole league.
I wouldn't pay $27 million for something that might be broke. I don't know if it's not.
You can extend the contract. He's 30 years old. He could be your quarterback for the next 5 years. You saying he's a top 15 quarterback in the league? Someone will be all over him. But that's not how the league looks at him.
I think they would have if he didn't have the shoulder thing for sure. 100%. I think how do you invest in that though? How do you invest?
He's healthy right now.
$27 million for a dude. Like, what if he has a setback? It happens all the time. You know, you're sitting there, and I think the one fair knock.
What's the next act for Jimmy's career? How is he going to get the last laugh here, Flav?
Oh, I think just Jimmy being Jimmy, like wherever he ends up, he might be on the bench. Then he's going to get his spot or his chance. He's going to win, and then he's hurt. What?
Then he's going to get hurt.
He might. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one true knock on Jimmy. But I think the Niners might also be worried about Trey's durability. Maybe. And the guy gets hurt every single time he gets out there also. He also throws an interception every time he starts. So I don't know why people think he's going to.
See, when you talk like that, it makes you seem a little biased.
I'm worried. I'm worried as a Niners fan.
I can see.
This guy's never
clutching your pearls very hard, very intensely. You're white knuckling this, man. It's going to be all right, dude. Hold on. Let me Flav.
Yeah.
Flav, if the Niners can get to the NFC Championship twice, with Jimmy and his meager skill set, man, they're going to be okay. He's a game manager who throws a lot of picks. Dude, that is the worst starter you could want. He can't move.
Jimmy
He can't go down the
games
field.
in the last.
He throws a ton of picks. If you can get that far with that, that's a liability. There's a word for that. It's a liability, man.
My feeling this year is the Niners are going to be in a lot of games because of their defense, and then they're going to have this kid out there with a slow release, indecisive. That was the thing we saw in the first 2 games that he started, especially those first 6 quarters, just holding on to the ball, running for his life, doesn't know what to do with it. I mean, you need a quick release.
You know what we're going to see from Jimmy Garoppolo this year? A lot of clipboard holding. A lot of high fives, a lot of smiles, a lot of daps. Hey, nice throw.
Amazing at that last year.
Let me get that water for you. Hey, let me tell you. Let's look at what you did on this last. I'm telling you, can say what you want about Trey, but Jimmy's time is over, and it's not just the Niners that feel that way. It's the whole league. No one wants him.
Obviously, it's just a wait and see thing. I hope you're right, because look, at the bottom line, I'm a Niners fan. And even the Niners fans that disagree with me, I still love more than any other fan out there on this issue. And so it's all love, but at the same time, I think that they got in a situation. They traded up. They didn't know who they were going to take. They couldn't take anybody else, so they had to go on this potential thing with Trey Lance. And I think they've realized that he's a project. It doesn't smell right. I mean, how much?
They knew he was a project when they brought him in. Right.
And I think don't get me wrong. I think it's going to be 3 years.
Are you a Mac Jones guy?
No, I mean, not really.
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't have, for me, you're one quarterback away, arguably. If that's what you think, you're one quarterback away.
Sure.
Why do you go to the draft to get it?
That's fair. That's fair. Look, I've never said that trade was the right move or that Trey's going to be a top 5 quarterback. I'm just saying he's better than Jimmy. But again, you think Jimmy's borderline top 10, so we're never going to agree on this. And I do have to take more calls. And I appreciate you calling in. Flav, you're the man. Sorry I didn't realize who you were at first. This was a lot of fun.
Well,
where are you calling from? You got a nice backdrop.
LA.
Man. What part of LA? I went to UCLA.
Do you know where Westlake Village is?
No.
It's sort of on the outskirts, but yeah.
All right, Flav. Have a good day. Flav haters. JG's arguably better than every Niners quarterback in the last 22. Oh my God. You'll miss him when the Niners win 6 games next year. Wow. Trey's slow release and experience going to be real ugly with the O-line. See, Flav keeps going he's like, I'm a Niner fan. I want Trey to succeed. I'm nervous. And then he goes back to, I'm guaranteeing he's going to be a bust. I don't know, man. He's better than Colin Kaepernick. Dude, Colin Kaepernick, it's funny. Colin Kaepernick was the best player in the playoffs in 2012. Best player in the Niners, best player in the playoffs. His QBR was 91. That's damn near perfect. QBR. Jimmy has been just god awful in the playoffs. He's a worse quarterback than Jeff Garcia, Alex Smith, and Colin Kaepernick. Man, I really think there's a Flav and there's a contingent of fans that think in 5 years, history is going to smile on Jimmy Garoppolo. It's going to be the opposite.